Alright, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Let's proceed. In the previous video I said we are going to proceed solving question 2 and question 3 that you can see on the board. In the previous video we just solved question 1 from ECZ paper internal paper 2 2022. Those are not actual numbering that are in the paper, but you can just check in ECZ paper 2 of 2022, and then you can find these questions. Alright, let's proceed with question 2 and question 3. So question 2, the question reads, solve by completing the square method. Again, this is your teacher, Mr. Bota Michel. Alright, let's get started. So we want to solve the second question by completing the square method. Right? If you were not familiar with completing the square method, you can pause the video, scroll up, find one of my videos, watch this method, and then you come back to this video. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so that's the question we have. So to solve this question, completing the square method, rule number 1, remember, your A should always be 1. So our A, we know that this is our A. Let me just put that on top of each coefficient. This is our B and our C. Alright? So we have to make sure this A be what? B1. Right? So how do we do that? We divide through by 3. So we divide through by 3. If you do that, this will give you x, right, squared minus 5 over 3x minus 7 over 3, right, is equal to 0. Good. Now, the second step here, you need to find half of your sum. Remember, if you are solving this question by factorization method, this part is what you get as your sum, right? Which is negative 5 over 3x. That's what you look at, right? Now we'll focus on negative 5 over 3 and find half of negative 5 over 3. So, to find half of negative 5 over 3, right? You simply multiply this by half, and that will give you negative 5 over 6. Now, we need to square this, right? So we're going to have negative 5 over 6. If you remember from one of my videos under completing the square method. So you find half of your sum, what you take as your sum, and then you find half of that, you square it. After finding it, you're going to add it on both sides of our quadratic equation. Alright? So let's do that. We have x squared minus 5, 3x. Right? So minus 5, 3x. Let's add it. We have plus what we have found, which is half of this one, negative 5 over 3. The half of that is negative 5 over 6. We square this. Let me use red marker, right? And then we have minus 7 over 3. Don't worry, I'll do this step by step so that you get everything clear. So we have 0. We are also adding it on the other side. So we're going to have plus negative 5 over 6 squared. Right? Good. And now, from one of my videos where I was explaining to you how to go by completing the square method, we know that what we have here is equal to get 1x from there and get what you have here as your half, right? This one, it's negative 5 over 6, so get that 5 over 6, right? Now, because the two are squared, you square that. Alright? Now, the reason for doing this is that you can see that this part has been left out. Right? So where has it gone? This x minus 5 over 6 squared, we can say, is the factor of the whole of this part. If we expand x minus 5 over 6 squared, we are going to yield back this part, which we take as the sum. That is why we just ignore it. We leave it out because it is accommodated in this expression. Right? Good. Let's proceed. Now we add both sides of the equation. Right? The quadratic equation we have with the additive inverse of negative 7 over 3, which most of you say, Aisha? Yes, you say that this will jump, it goes on the other side of the equation and becomes a positive. Anyway, it's a good way of mastering it. So, that one, so we have, actually not this one, it's this part. Alright, it's this part, okay? So, we want it to go the other side of the equal sign by adding both sides of this quadratic equation by its additive inverse. So if we do that, we are going to get, so this, we are going to have positive 7 over 3, right? Already we have negative 5 over 6 squared on this side, so let's start with that. I'm going to use red marker. We know that this will simply be 25, right? Negative 5 squared is 25 over 6 squared is 36, right? So this will become positive 7 over 3, right? Right. So we are here. So we proceed. We have 5 over 6. So we have 5 over 6. Remember, I'm going to use the same color, the red one. We have squared is equal to, here we can find the lowest common denominator where 36, and 3 can go without giving you any remainder, right? And that is going to give you, that's what you have here. 36 into 36 times 25, that will give you 25 plus 3 into 36, that will give you 12, multiplied by 7, that will give you 84, right? Right. So there we go. We have minus 5 over 6 squared is equal to, when you add, you are going to get 109 divided by 36. It's now the time for us to get rid of the square by introducing the square root on both sides, so that we have x minus, again, I'll use red marker, 5 over 6, right, is equal to positive or negative, the square root of 109. We know that for the square root of 36 is 6. Now the square root of 109 is 10. That's 10.440 and some numbers, but you can just write that to 3 decimal places. Alright, so that's what we have. Now, again here we need to add both sides of the quadratic equation with the additive inverse of negative 5 over 6. Again here, which most of you guys say, negative 5 over 6 goes the other side so that it becomes a positive. Okay? So, we have x is equal to positive or negative of 10.440 over 6, right, plus 5 over 6. Good. So that simply means our solutions now, we are near to find our solutions. So that simply means our solutions will be 1, our x will either be, either be 10.440 plus 5 over 6, right? Or our x is going to be, we get for negative 10.440, right? Plus 5 over 6, isn't it? So that will give us our x finally is going to be, when you divide, alright, so when you divide here 10.440 plus 5, this will give you 15.440 over 6, and you can divide that. When you divide that, when you use your calculator, right? So if you use your calculator, you divide 15.440 divided by 6, you are going to get 2.573. So 2.573 as your answer. And this side, you are going to have negative 10.540 plus 5, that will give you negative 5.440 divided by 6, which again, when you use your calculator, you divide, you are going to get that's 0.907. That's 0.907. Alright, so this is how we find, we solve the quadratic equation, which is our option 2 from here, right? By completing the square method. Right. So thank you so much. I think we can proceed so that we can factorize completely this one. Just a quick one. Alright, as I'm wrapping, you can pause the video, try to solve it, and compare the answers. You confirm if what you solve will be the same as what I'm going to solve. Alright, this test is enough. So the question we have is 2, that's question 3. Alright, that's question 3. We have 2x plus 14 over, we have 2x squared minus 9x, right? Okay, so you can pause the video and try to solve it and see the solution that you are going to get. It will be the same as what I'm going to get here. Okay, let's proceed, guys. We want to factorize completely. So our numerator there, we can factor out 2 so that we have x plus 7, right? Then the second step here, we can factor out 2 again. We are going to have x squared minus 9. That's 49, right? Right. And you can divide the 2 there, will be 1, 2 there, 1. So that will just give you 1x plus 7, right? Divided by, we have 1. I'm doing this step by step so that you can see clearly what is happening. Here, remember we have x squared minus, you need to write 49 in index form. That is the number that you can multiply 2 times to give you 49, or the number that you can put to power 2 so that you have 49. The main goal of doing this, writing 49 in the index form, because we want to write this expression we have, right, in difference of 2 squares. This is, we want to make it as what we call difference of 2 squares, right? So the difference of 2 squares, we have x squared minus 7 squared. So we have the difference, right, of 2 squares. That is x squared and 7 squared. So this was our goal. Now we can write this as x plus 7, right? We know that when 1 multiplied by this, it will give you x plus 7, alright? This, it will give us simply the same thing, which we can write as x minus 7, x plus 7, right? And finally, this can be written as, you can see that x plus 7 and x plus 7, we can divide and we remain with 1 on top over, here 1 multiplied by x minus 7, we have x minus 7, and that is our solution. So thank you again guys for visiting my YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, share my videos, and see you